So in India, I could wake up at 6 a.m. to go for workout, and I would feel like I'm the first human being on planet Earth who woke up on time. But here, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I feel like it's just normal. At 6 already, here people are outside and doing everything. When in India, I couldn't do this. Like at 5 a.m. it's so early. Mostly people wake up around, like works start around 9:30. You know, most restaurants, jobs start at 9:30. Everything start at 7:30. Huge difference, you know. Okay, let's do it. So, is there any lesson I got out of living in India for 3 years as a student? Of course, there are a lot of things which I saw, which I noticed in Indian universities, which were really bad for me and I really hated them. But I couldn't speak about them being in India. And this is just one part. I'm going to make another video where I'm going to explain more other things about Indian universities. And also, there are also other things which are just wonderful for me to learn about in being in those Indian universities, and which I think would be better for me to share it with any of you. It may be to Indians or to Africans who want to go to India for university studies, because I've noticed that most are now going to India, Africans, for university studies. And without losing time, let me jump into the first thing. What are the things which I think are wrong about Indian universities? First thing, I'm not going to hide this. It's a low education. I don't know how the Indian education system works, but comparatively to most countries and to most people who I've seen coming from Africa, and also comparing myself to people studying in African countries, I found that in India, things are very light, things are very easy, things don't make you as strong as maybe you could be in any African country. If I could compare myself as a biomedical engineer who just finished in India to someone else who did the exact same thing in my country, Congo, there is a very huge gap in terms of what they know and in terms of what I know. What I know is mostly what I can do in an exam. In India, study for an exam and for passing just the exam, or to satisfy the teacher, or to complete the journal, or a weekly exam, or a weekly test, or any test. That's just what you study for. But in Africa, they make things much more tough, that you even learn things and they remain in you, not just for the exam and pass. And another thing is that also teachers are more strict in India when it comes to those tests or exams. In order, all they need is you to duplicate what they gave in class or in assignments and bring it back in a paper. And if you put more figures and other stuff in an exam, you already passed. But in Africa, it's different. You have to understand things, explain them, and make sure that you understand everything about the course, which is a very huge difference, and it creates a gap in knowledge. So if you want to go for knowledge, first of all, let me just be honest, India is not a good place for that. Second problem, and this comes especially with private universities in India, is the money issue. There is nothing else Indian universities need more than your money. If you ever notice it, they will advertise themselves very well on social media and wherever it can be. Oh, we are good at this or that, we're good at this or that, 100% scholarship and other things. But in reality, they don't care about you. They care about your money. And how will you understand this? Is as long as you paid your school fees, as long as you paid any other fees which is related to school, you can have the freedom of doing anything as you want and you can pass easily. But when you didn't pay your fees, if you have any single mistake in school, bro, you're going to repeat that class. If you have any problem when you didn't pay your fees, I'm sorry for you, things are going to be worse. Once you paid, you are good. If you didn't pay, there is nothing for you here. Okay, I'm going to explain more about this point, especially later on when I will make another video especially for this. I just said it, and you have to understand it that way. Indian universities will seem to give you scholarships and other things and whatever else it can be, but all they're interested in is your money. And that's what they should be. It's a private university. They're there for money. They're not here to teach the world how to be like this or blah, blah, blah. For that one, I understand. Let them look for money. It's good to do business. But I've spoke of only bad things. Let me now speak also of good things which I've seen in Indian universities. And this is something which I keep in myself. I don't know if it's the exactly same with everyone else, but this was my personal lesson out of Indian universities. The first one, I noticed that there is a huge difference when it comes to competition among students in how they look and whatever else it can be in Indian universities comparatively to African universities. In African universities, one of the things which I noticed is that most of my friends who studied in Africa comparatively to me, they have all the best shoes, they have all the best bags, they have all the best, anything which can make them look much better. They have all those things. When me who studied in India, the only thing which I needed for me to go to school is put on shoes and be however I want and just go to school. In fact, my school as an engineering student, I remember in first year it was mandatory for us to come with shirts at school. I don't like shirts, yet they had to force people to be formal, which is different in Africa. In most African universities, university is the place where you come to showcase how good you can dress. You can't put one cloth twice a week. You have to change every day. You have to look different. You have to look the best version of you. And that's, maybe it could be among Indians, I don't know, but for me personally, I had the freedom there of being however I want, because I was not in competition with anybody. And even if there would be competition, it's not as much as in Africans, where style is kind of... The second best thing about Indian universities, or what I've noticed, was also how they could facilitate to access on some basic things which could be useful for students, as it can be practicing things in a laboratory and other stuff which might not be exactly the same in most African universities. In African universities, you will be, of course, strong in theories. You will understand things in theories, but when it comes to practice, Indian universities, I think, are much better. I think so, because they somehow give you facility to access to most things, to access to industries, and learn more stuff around, because you have almost everything near you. And another thing was also, I don't know if I should classify it to be a good thing or a bad thing, is how teachers also in India make it easy for students to pass. Very huge difference in Africa. Let me tell you, in most Black African countries, at school, teachers make sure that you fail. They make everything possible that you fail. I studied in an engineering school for my diploma, and one thing which was there is that anytime you could make something, teachers would make sure they find mistakes in whatever you do. They have to make sure they find how wrong you are in order for you to fail, which is different in India. In India, teachers make sure that you pass. They have to facilitate everything for you. They even show you the places where they're going to pick questions for an exam. That's just strange. Like, you can never see that in Africa. Like, things are tough. Like, teachers want you to fail by any means. But in all this, what it can be now, the conclusion which I can give about this, the first thing is that Africans should stop lying to themselves that going to India is going to make them become better. And this was the mistake which I did also, and which I think so many also are doing. It's just that thinking that, oh, India, it's a country outside of Africa, so we can get better education when we go there. And India is known for being good in computer science, in medicine. So, oh, if I'm going for those two things, probably I'm going to get much better there. Wrong. If you go to India for getting better, go and get better using the internet, learning by yourself, doing internship and other things which are going to make your skills much better by yourself, not from any university. You're going to lose 100%. If you go to university, you will come back and you will be zero. If you want to know about that, ask anybody who have been studying in India, they will tell you. And another simple solution, don't make school to be the thing which is going to make you to be better. Study in any African country which you want. For example, me, I wanted to study in an English country because I'm from a French country. All I needed was to study in an English country, and I shouldn't go to India necessarily for that. I could go in any African country, just have the freedom, and don't be intimidated by people being in India thinking that they have something much better than you. They are all same. There is nothing strange. In fact, if they don't sharpen themselves outside of school, there are more chances that they will be low than someone who studied in Africa in a normal school. So sharpen yourself, learn things by yourself. So what would you do at last? Don't go following standards of studying abroad. Don't go and follow standard of studying in a foreign country. Never lie to yourself that it's going to work. Never. All you will come back with will be a certificate which shows that you studied in India. Of course, maybe you can get a job faster than someone else studied in another country, in the same country as you're coming from. But when it comes to skills, trust me, you will be low and you might lose that job in a day because you know nothing. You know nothing. But what you can do, if you go to India, sharpen yourself. Make sure that you study by yourself, and don't expect those universities to take care of you. They only need your money, and you will come and sharpen yourself. Do practice as much as you can. Get more opportunities, get more knowledge, get more connections as much as you can. But don't expect anything from those universities. I've spoke too much, but I think I spoke what I had to speak. Thank you so much for being here. I will catch you next time, telling you again more stories about Africa. Since I'm in Africa now, I want to share more stories about Africa, and also if by any chance I still have a few videos which I have to speak about India, I'm going to share them also with you. Thank you so much for being here. Catch you next time.